Good morning, everybody. So today we are going to discuss about the different fields of image processing, different fields that uses digital image processing and numerous applications of image processing with different image source. So that source may be that source may be electromagnetic source, or it may be ultrasonic or acoustic source. Otherwise, there are electronic sources also, like single electron microscopy, SEM. It is called as SEM, and these type of therefore it is categorized into different image groups. Now let me show the PPT. 1 minute. I am sharing my screen. So the most of our content is from Gunjala's textbook. So the website is imageprocessingplace.com. It is there here. So the textbook what we are following is the digital image processing fourth edition by Gunjala. So yesterday we have discussed up to some infrared images. Now let me explain the image file formats also. Yesterday we have discussed these things, and there are different file formats like GIF format is there, PNG format, JPEG, and somebody asked me yesterday that JPEG and JPG, .jpg, both are similar only. So third one is fourth one is TIFF format, also tagged image file format, or PGM format, portable gray map, and FITS, flexible image transfer system. So most of the case we are going to use JPEG format and PNG formats only. So remaining sometimes we use for different applications. Depending on the application, use the different types of formats. And when we go across this course, we will come to know for what application we will use the different types of formats. So in JPEG also we have lossless and lossy formats. And so now we will continue for the today's session. 1 minute. There is some disturbance from some participants. We'll do one thing. Mute yourself. 1 minute. 1 minute. So any doubt is there, you just ask me doubts, that's all. I have muted everybody because the processing is recording. Yes. Now let us see the another type of imaging, that is gamma ray imaging. So the gamma rays are very useful in nuclear medicine and astronomical observations. So in gamma rays, what we do is we inject a patient with radioactive elements, isotope, that emits gamma rays. So that means we are going to inject isotopes, radioactive isotopes that will travel through our veins, etc. And from that we can extract some information. And gamma ray imaging is useful for bone scanning and etc. And we can identify the infections and tumors present in the body. So wherever the infection is present, or tumors present, like cancerous tumors, that can be identified with gamma rays. So in gamma rays, what is very, very important is we require certain injections. So it's not external. We will internal, from the internal, we will get the images. Whereas X-rays, we are going to externally, we are going to transmit the X-rays through the body, and at the other side of the body, they will collect the information. The rays will be collected by detectors. Here also, what happens is the gamma rays means isotopes are injected to the body, and then those radiations, the decay radiations of the isotopes, will be collected by the gamma ray detectors. So that is about the gamma rays. In particular gamma ray imaging only, there will be PET scanning also will be there, and other types of imaging also is present. So this is also one application which is used for bone scanning and infections identification, tumor identification, etc. Next one is, another example is X-rays. The X-rays are used in medical diagnostics. In medical field, we use for even chest scanning. First one is chest scanning. 1 minute. Let me open this. Right. So let me open the chest scanning here. This is chest scanning. And so second one is angiogram. This is angiogram actually. 1 minute. In angiogram, what we do is we inject, so similar way, in veins, we inject one particular type of tubes, and it will travel through the veins, and will go to that particular location, and that will be magnified, and we get any blockages present in the veins. This is second one is angiogram. Right, this is angiogram. And the second, here we have this is right hand side, we have, see here, this is nothing but the chipboard. In chipboard, we can identify the type of problems, or otherwise connection problems, or size also we can identify, estimate the sizes, or any blockages, or any interconnection failures, etc. things we can identify through the X-rays. And this is fourth one is head scan. This is head scan. All these things can be done with X-rays, and X-rays has applications in both medical diagnostics and industrial applications also. Next one. So here the image, this image is for the ultraviolet imaging. So ultraviolet image uses ultraviolet rays, UV rays. So UV rays finds so many applications in photolithography. Already you have studied in VLSI that photolithography is a very useful phenomenon to form the mass. And in the similar way here also, sometimes we use the ultraviolet rays to identify any type of fungus present in our agriculture products like corns, etc. So this is also one of the application of your image processing. And the another example is light microscopy imaging. In the light microscopic imaging, what we do is we use different type of lasers or other type of sources for uh, uh, getting the information magnified. Even for example, in the microscopy finds so many applications in medical fields, like for example, identifying the viruses, bacteria, or understanding the chip in a larger way, magnification. So this is used basically for magnification purpose. And the next example is visual and infrared imaging. So all these applications we will study in our future courses also. Just as a glance, we are seeing all these applications. But in detail, we are going to see how we can extract the image, how we can get the data, and how we can process the data, and finally how we can identify the tumors or other objects what we are going to detect. All these things we will discuss in the remaining classes. Don't worry about that. This is only at a glance we are seeing what are the applications of this. Visual and infrared both comes under the same category because both are visible actually. These images, particularly infrared images, is they are used for this satellite applications. And from the satellite we collect the data of either mountains or otherwise the land areas or urban areas, identifying the river areas, and where exactly the how much the crop area is present in, for example, West Godavari, or otherwise how many buildings are there in urban areas, and how much forest area is there, and all those things we can analyze with this satellite images. So there are different categories of infrared images for different applications. Particularly visual blue is useful for water penetration. So how much depth of water is there, etc. things we can identify. And visible green is used for plant vigor, and visible red is for vegetation discrimination. That all these images I said they are used for understanding how much crop area is there, what are the different types of crops their farmers are they are doing. And near infrared is used for biomass and the shoreline mapping. And if you want to understand the moisture content of the soil and vegetation, we have to use middle infrared. And thermal infrared is used for soil moisture, and middle infrared is used for mineral mapping. So that means you see there are so many applications of image processing, not only for this visual field. It is ranging from infrared, gamma rays, etc. So many applications are there. So at a glance, we can say that we can identify the moisture content, we can find the soil moisture and vegetation, and mineral mapping. What type of mineral is present also you can estimate through the this thermal infrared imaging. And you can find the NASA has given the satellite images, and you can obtain these images even from the NASA website, or otherwise you can obtain this from this Bhuvan website. Bhuvan is an Indian platform. They also gives you this. They also give images. Image database is available in Bhuvan website also. You can download it So automated visual inspection. Sometimes in visual spectrum means we use normal cameras only, like our mobile cameras or hand cameras. In visual pattern, you can do for example, if four or five bottles are there, in one bottle the content is less, you can observe the second picture. In second picture you can see that there is a less content present, that you can identify directly by automation. Automatically it identifies that content of this third one is very less. Like this, there are other applications also. For example, this is one more popular example for automated and visual inspection. See here, this is a car image. In the car image, for example, if you want to extract the number plate, for example, in a traffic, one car is moving at very high speed, or otherwise they are violating the traffic rules. The digital camera captures the number automatically, and for that, uh, for example, it has to identify the numbers also, and the number will be directly transferred to the control room, and the control room can take necessary actions. That means, for example, if car is there, in car it has so many things, but they have to extract only the numbers like MMPK 41965. So number extraction can be this number can be detected by automatic detection by using our image processing algorithms. Or otherwise, we can use the fingerprints also for visual inspection. We can take the fingerprint image, and from the fingerprint image we can identify the person. For example, in biometric we are using fingerprints. From the fingerprint data it will be like some circles, and these circles can be used for our identification purpose. Or paper currency also, you can identify the fake notes also by automatic and visual inspection. And you also can tell some other applications also. After this class I will ask you to tell what are the applications you also know. And the other application is a radar image. So why radar image is so useful is the radar images, even they are very useful, particularly when weather conditions are very bad. So the the radar waves, they are microwave. They can transmit through the clouds, and you can take the photograph even in rains and other. If, for example, if situation is not good, the atmosphere is not suitable, in that condition also you can take the images by using the radar waves. The radar applications, particularly these type of images, are very useful in our military applications. So one more example is MRI, that is also in radio band. The MRI images particularly they are useful for similar to your previous case. It is used to identify any defect or any infection is present in knee area, spine area. Particularly the MRI is useful for the critical analysis. For example, if the X-ray is unable to detect certain infections, the MRI can detect even critical infections that are not found directly in X-rays. For example, if X-ray is taken and still the problem is not identified, then doctor will suggest the second stage is MRI analysis. So the MRI is very powerful and can identify the infections and tumors very easily, but it is costly. So first the doctors suggest only the X-rays, and if nothing is visible or the problem is not identified, then we will go for the MRI imaging. And another popular example of imaging is ultrasounds. You know, newborn babies, infants, uh, sorry, this babies for example, present in womb, you can detect the baby's muscle growth, and the growth of the baby can be identified with the ultrasound imaging, right? Right. So then how to do all this processing with our image processing? So let us start our class. Actually, this is about our processing part, digital image processing part. And these slides are, I will share these slides in your group also. If the image is not clear also, no need to worry. I'll zoom it also. So what are the steps involved in digital image processing? Let us discuss. The first step is image acquisition. First step is image acquisition here. Second step is image acquisition means that is with cameras. Cameras are not the cameras. It is not restricted to our digital cameras or mobile phone cameras, but already I explained you. There are varied applications are there: gamma rays, X-rays, etc. The infrared cameras are present. Nighttime cameras are infrared cameras. You can. There are different. 1 minute. Then the second part of this one is image filtering and enhancement. So the filters are used to remove any type of noise present in the image. For example, there may be different sources of the noise. The blurring may be there, or otherwise focus is not clear, contrast is not clear, etc. Things we can do. But the another step is here image restoration. Image restoration and image enhancement look similar, but there are lot of difference. There is a lot of difference between enhancement and image restoration. Image restoration, what exactly do is, it is the original picture. ఒరిజినల్ పిక్చర్ అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తెలుగులో చెప్పుకుంటే ఎలా ఉందో అలా పిక్చర్ లో ఏదన్నా బ్లర్ అది వస్తే అది ఎలిమినేట్ చేస్తుంది తప్ప అది కొత్తగా ఏమీ క్రియేట్ చేయదు. అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనల్ని బ్యూటిఫై చేయదు, మనం ఉన్నది ఉన్నట్టుగా అది చూపిస్తుంది అన్నమాట. అంటే ఏంటంటే మన పిక్చర్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు క్వాంటైజేషన్ కానీ లేకపోతే ఎలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఏమన్నా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తే దాన్ని ఎలిమినేట్ చేయడానికి ఇది ఇమేజ్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ది ఇమేజ్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఫర్, యాజ్ ద నేమ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇండికేట్స్ దట్ ఇట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ రీస్టోర్స్ ది ఇమేజెస్, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ అంటే తెల్లగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు నల్లగా చేయటం, నల్లగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు తెల్లగా చేయటం ఇలా చేయదు. ఇమేజ్ ఎన్హాన్స్మెంట్ అలా కాదనమాట. మనం ఎలా కావాలంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ బాగా బ్లాక్ గా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వైట్ గా చేయొచ్చు, లేకపోతే రకరకాల బాగా లావుగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళని సన్నగా చేయటం, ఇలాంటివన్నీ కూడా ఇమేజ్ ఎన్హాన్స్మెంట్ ఫిల్టరింగ్స్ ఇలాంటి అప్లికేషన్స్. కానీ ఇమేజ్ రెస్టరేషన్ డిఫరెన్స్, ఇట్ ఆల్సో ఎన్హాన్సెస్ ది ఇమేజెస్, బట్ at the same time it exactly gives or restores the original images that is damaged because of the poor quality of quantization or poor quality of the blurring, all those things it removes. So both actually gives the better impact of our image. So this all comes under pre-processing stage. So image, so only 10 minutes time is there. So let me quickly explain, and tomorrow also I will revise it. Then second one is color image processing. If the color image is RGB image, we don't require this particular stuff. Color image processing is there. So second one is wavelets and multi-resolution analysis. So this particular part, wavelets and multi-resolution analysis, what it does is it decomposes the images into different parts. That means different resolutions. so that sometimes we don't require less resolutions, means we can go with this. అంటే ఒక్కొక్కసారి బాగా ఎక్స్పాండెడ్ కంప్రెస్డ్ నాకు అంత డేటా అక్కర్లేదు అనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఓన్లీ మీరు ఈ రోజు ఈ ఓవరాల్ గా ఈ రోజులో ఎంతమంది అబ్సెంట్ అయ్యారు చెప్పండి అంట ఒక్కోసారి. దట్ ఈస్ ఎనఫ్ ఫర్ మీ. కొన్నిసార్లు ఎలా అడగచ్చు, ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో ఎంత, సెకండ్ క్లాస్ లో ఎంత, థర్డ్ క్లాస్ లో ఎంత, ఫోర్త్ క్లాస్ లో ఎంత, ఎంతమంది అబ్సెంట్ అని అడిగారు అనుకోండి, అదో పద్ధతి. అలా కాకుండా ఓన్లీ నాకు ఈ క్లాస్ లోనే ఎంతమంది, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నాకు మొత్తం ఓవరాల్ గా ఎంతమంది అబ్సెంట్ అయ్యారు చాలు అని ఒక డేటా తీసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి, అది మల్టీ రెజల్యూషన్ అనాలిసిస్ అన్నమాట. సమ్ టైమ్స్ we don't require the entire data of the image, we require only a particular part of the resolution that can be used for our applications. అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక మోషన్ ఉందా లేదా, ఎవడన్నా వచ్చాడా లేదా తెలుసుకోవాలంటే మనకు ఓన్లీ ఎడ్జ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఒక మనిషి తాలూకు ఎడ్జ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటే సరిపోతుంది. అంతేగాని వాడి కళ్ళు ఎలా ఉన్నాయి, ముక్కు ఎలా ఉంది, అదంతా అవసరం లేదు. కొన్నిసార్లు ఓన్లీ మోషన్ డిటెక్ట్ అయిందా లేదా, ఎవడన్నా వచ్చాడా లేదా తెలుసుకోవాలి ఏటీఎం లోకి అంటే immediately we can use only certain part of the resolution, we don't require other resolutions. Yet that in that applications we will use the wavelets. And sometimes the compression is also very important. అంటే నేను ఏదో మొత్తం ఈ రోజు క్లాస్ అంతా చెప్పిన తర్వాత అది మీకు ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేయాలి, మీకు పంపించాలి, యూట్యూబ్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేయాలి. ద ఎంటైర్ డేటా ఐ కెనాట్ అప్లోడ్, సో we will use compress. And the third one is morphological processing. మార్ఫలాజికల్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ లో అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే వీ కెన్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్, అంటే షేప్స్ ఎలాగున్నాయి, అంటే కళ్ళు షేప్ ఎలాగుంది, ముక్కు షేప్ ఎలాగుంది, తర్వాత అలాగనమాట. వీ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ అబౌట్ ది షేప్స్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇమేజ్. అంటే ఒక్కొక్క, అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లైక్ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్ మనం తీసుకుని దాంట్లో ఆ సర్కిల్స్ ఎలాగున్నాయి, తర్వాత అవన్నీ కూడా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలంటే దెన్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ మార్ఫలాజికల్ ప్రాసెసింగ్. And the third one is segmentation part. In segmentation part, exactly what we do is we divide the entire image into small segments. For example, ఈ ఇమేజ్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఈ ఇమేజ్ లో నాకు ఈ చివరి ఎడ్జ్లన్నీ కావాలి, మధ్యలో వద్దనుకోండి, I can remove that. Or for example, if I want to know only the entire area of this one, I don't require middle one, so only we can extract the edge information. So that is also comes under segmentation. That is one chapter. Each one is nothing but one chapter that you have to understand. Those things we are going to further discuss in other chapters. Next, representation and description. And last one is object recognition. What is object recognition is? Object recognition is nothing but, for example, in previous slides I have shown you, for example, car is moving with at very high rate, so we can extract the number plate from that, and we can extract some car is moving, or like this, some objects we can detect automatically, and those are called as object detection parts. So this is about the entire fundamental steps present in our image processing. We are going to use mathematical formulas, and the formulas are used for our programming part development. Finally, we need to apply it to our application, and through program we have to understand. Okay, so let me stop my screen sharing, and any doubts present you can ask me.